Hey, what's up, guys? It's Boxing Guru here, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, it is official. Kell Brook has accepted the challenge, and he will face his mandatory in the Errol Spence. Kell Brook was cornered into a very tight spot. This is a fight that all hardcore boxing fans have been wanting, and Kell Brook was looking like he was ducking Errol Spence Jr. He was blatantly calling out Amir Khan, even though Amir Khan didn't want the fight. Instead of pursuing his mandatory, and he was mandated to fight him. He wasn't gonna get any type of fight. He either fought Kell Brook, he either fought Errol Spence Jr. or he gave up the title, and that was that. And he was disputing whether he would go to 154 or stay at 147. He decided to stay at 147. But you know why? Let's keep it real. The only reason he decided to stay at 147 was because who the hell is he gonna fight at 154? A couple bums. If he fights some bums at 150, well, you could say he's probably adjusting to the weight. He could fight one or two bums and adjust to the weight, but who can he really beat at this moment at 154? You gonna tell me he could beat Charlo? You gonna tell me he could beat Erislandy Lara? You gonna tell me he can beat Andrade? Really? You think he could beat those guys? Fuck out of here. You really believe that? You tripping. You really tripping if you think he could beat those guys. Those guys are highly talented. Charlo hits like a fucking horse. And they're highly talented. And Erislandy Lara is a very tricky, hard fighter to beat. I don't think he could beat any of those guys. He will probably try to pursue a fight with Miguel Cotto. Easy payday. Well, not an easy payday, but it's a big payday. And, he has a shot at winning that fight because Miguel Cotto, he's not quite in his prime. He's not over the hill, but he's not quite in his prime. He still gives it his all. But as far as the size, they'd probably be around. Cobra probably is a little bit taller, but it would be an easier fight for him to win to beat somebody like him instead of a young hungry lion like Charlo or Andrade, or a very hard technical fighter like Erislandy Lara. And it just makes more sense economically to fight a guy like Miguel Cotto instead of those guys. If you're gonna take the risk, make sure it's worth it. You feel me? So I guess that's why he didn't want that Errol Spence Jr. fight, because he's not really gonna make that much money off this fight, and it's a very risky fight. It's a fight where you got a guy who hits hard, who doesn't just come forward like a fucking dumbass. He actually knows how to move his head. But we're gonna call a spade a spade. If anybody knows my boxing channel, you would know that I am very critical of Triple G. And Triple G, he's looked at as a hype job. He's looked at as a fighter getting too much credit for doing very little. Well, not doing very little, but giving way more credit than he deserves. And, these are both Kell Brook and Errol Spence Jr. They're both guys, even though Kell Brook at least has fought an elite fighter in Sean Porter, unlike Triple G. Errol Spence Jr., can't say that for him. I can't say that for him. He beat Leonard Bundu, okay, who the hell, who's that? You feel me? Who's that? At the end of the day, I'm gonna have to ride with Kell Brook. I'm sorry, even though he was looking sketchy, like he didn't want the fight. You gotta realize it is a very risky fight, and he can lose this fight. It's not, to me, it's not a 50-60. To me, it's more like a 60-40. I think Kell Brook has been in there with better competition. I think he slightly more skillful, as though it appears with the type of fighters he fights, mostly bums. He looks very skillful with Triple G. A guy who only uses weight advantage and his power advantage, and who didn't really move his head as much. And I don't think that will be the same scenario with Errol Spence Jr. Although I am favoring Kell Brook to pull off a split decision or a majority decision, especially if it's going to be in the O2 Arena in London. We know that hometown advantage is going to be pulling strong. So I really feel like Errol Spence Jr.'s only hope to get that strap is to knock Kell Brook out. And I don't know if that's possible, man, because he got knocked out by he got stopped by Triple G, man. I'm sorry, man. Triple G was hitting him clean, and he was taking them shots clean, even though he had that weight advantage and the size advantage. So these are both 147-pound fighters, and you guys are crazy if you think an 147-pound fighter who hasn't fought top quality opposition is gonna be going there and just mop the floors with a Kell Brook. You guys are tripping, man. You guys are tripping. Kell Brook to me is not the best welterweight, but we gotta give the man props. The man is skillful, and the man got a chin. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, but I am favoring Kell Brook, and it is what it is. At least we're getting a meaningful fight for once from Kell Brook, other than the Sean Porter fight. We all know that Triple G fight wasn't meaningful, even though it was fun to see Triple G's ass beat for a couple of rounds and embarrassed. And at the end of the day, this is Boss. Take time to subscribe. I'm out.